Welcome back to another episode of 10-Minute Takes. Today we're talking about is if LA Knight can still win a WWE World Championship. Those of you who don't know, 10-Minute Takes is the weekly series that every Raw, Smackdown, PLE, and once more weekly. We will talk about wrestling takes, whether that's currently or wrestling takes in the past. I'll get 10 minutes to talk about it, explain my case, and down below in the comments, you could give your rebuttal and talk to me and give me your opinions about what I'm talking about. So we have 10 minutes to talk about it, and that timer starts right now. So LA Knight. Yeah, shout out LA Knight, girl. LA Knight, he is someone who a lot of people have been clamoring for the past couple years to win a world championship. The big question in this video is, can LA Knight still win a world championship? And my answer is yes. Now, there's some parameters to it. I don't think there's no limited time clock on this. I think if he does not win this championship by next year, 2026, I think it's over. I think the hopes are done. A lot of people have said that the past couple years. I've said that myself the past couple years. It might be it. I don't know if it'll happen again. But my big thing is he hasn't had a big impactful loss where I really feel like, damn, that was it. There's never going to be a chance. I feel like there were some opportunities where he could have won, and, I wouldn't have been mad at the fact that I think a lot of people would have been okay if he won, but there was never an opportunity where I feel like this is the moment, this is the time, boom, if he loses, it's over. He'll never have a chance again. Yeah, you might feel like he already has. Money in the Bank 2024, people thought he should have won. Drew McIntyre won, and he did nothing with it, which... feel how you do about it. I don't think he needed to win it. I think he could have given it to Jey Uso, could have given it to LA Knight, could have given it to literally anybody else who would have done something with it. I digress. LA Knight this year, Money in the Bank, people thought this was the time. He, got over the U.S. title. He officially lost it the second time. He got the rematch. He didn't win, and he was really in limbo after that. He didn't really have too much going on, and everybody's like, all right, this is the time. LA Knight is going to win Money in the Bank. I was so... over the moon, have my LA Knight shirt on, the black oversized tee, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is the time. LA Knight's officially gonna win. And they didn't. LA Knight didn't win the title. He didn't win Money in the Bank. He lost to Seth Rollins. But then they got a new feud, so I'm like, hold on a minute. Wait a second. Are we actually gonna play him in the main event? Is this actually gonna happen? And then he beat him. He actually beat him. I hoped it could happen, but I figured Seth would beat him and it would just go off to nothing. But Seth got hurt. And then LA Knight beat him, and I was like, okay, hold on. He has a clean win over Seth Rollins, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's shenanigans or not, it's technically clean. So he could do something with that. And he's not booked at SummerSlam. He doesn't have anything going on, but he's the unofficial number one contender, I guess you could word it. And he watched, CM Punk came to the world champion, and Seth Rollins came out. We all know the rest. He cashed in, and Seth was the world champion. Heading to Clash of Paris, it was him, Punk, Jey Uso, and Seth Rollins. We'll talk about LA Knight and that. And I thought, hell, I don't know if LA Knight wins this match. CM Punk could win this, but I doubt it. I figured Seth would win, get a retain here, and he did. I was just really hoping LA Knight didn't take that pin. He didn't, thankfully. LA Knight did not have to suffer a pin. And again, like I've been saying, that impactful loss, I did not think he had yet. I didn't think he had a loss that completely destroyed all the momentum. Now, that Shinsuke one was close. I'm not going to lie to you. That Shinsuke loss last year was bad. That did not need to happen at all. And that kind of really fucked up a little bit for LA Knight. But he's still popular. The crowd's still behind him. This year, I think he's been building back up that popularity a little bit. I didn't think he lost a lot, but he definitely went from like here to here. And then he's going back up a little slowly. So I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from him. His character work, his mic work is starting to really get there. I really think, his stuff with CM Punk in the past couple of months has been very enjoyable TV. He's been one of the bright spots on Monday Night Raw, where a show that's honestly lacked a lot of direction, a lot of satisfaction from the fans, because I feel like everyone's just like, yo, we're doing the Bronze versus Jay, Jimmy, LA, Punk, the combination of those four over and over again, which now we haven't gotten that in like a month. So I'm very happy that we're finally like someone saw, all right, fans aren't happy. We got to do a 180. Now, whether that has to do with Seth Rollins getting injured and now the Bronze are on their own, or whether it just has to do with them being smart enough to finally take the criticism and learn how to change. I'm happy regardless that they finally made the decision to move on from the Bronze being the whole main event. I think there's other guys, whether it's the females, whether it's the men, going crazy on Monday nights. The Battle Royal last night was so fun. You had all these guys who could actually win. AJ Styles, LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Dom Mysterio even had a chance to win the Battle Royal. And ultimately, Jey Uso won. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little flustered by that. I was a little confused. I was angry a little bit because I didn't think Jey Uso needed to win. He just got pinned by Punk last week. And it's like, hold on. You just lost your number one contendership. Why are you getting a world title shot now? How the fuck does that work? LA Knight, I think, should have won the match. And I think he should have won the title then. I think Saturday night's main event would have been really fun. It would have been a big moment. Saturday night's main event that finally said this is a must-watch show, man. Because it's not just some random. It's not just I can miss it. I can see the highlights. LA Knight winning a world title would be a huge moment. Now it doesn't look like we're getting that. And I've seen a speculation on the internet that someone said that Jey Uso could get taken out, and then LA Knight ends up taking his spot, winning the world title. They think it's LA who attacked him, and then it ends up being Jimmy, or ends up being someone else. Let's just say it can be anyone else. I don't think that happens. I think Jey Uso Punk is a good paper match for Saturday night's main event. On paper, on advertisement, it looks good. People know Jey Uso. People know CM Punk. He's related to Roman Reigns. He's related to The Rock. All right, that's the match. I think Punk wins the world title from there. And I think in the next couple months, what we'll see from that is a War Games match involving these parties. The Usos, Roman, LA Knight, Punk, the Bronze. I don't know who else gets involved with this story. A lot of people thought it was going to be Seth and the Bronze versus the other team, which that still could be kind of salvage with, keeping the Bronze, maybe getting some other people to align with them. Maybe it's Drew McIntyre. Maybe that Cody story gets looped into this one as well. I don't know. But I still see a world where LA Knight and Punk are going to be interlooped for the next 12 months. I don't think we're going to get a one-on-one title match between the two. We have seen his last match coming up December 13th. I don't see a world where any world title is defended on that show. Maybe it is. And I'm bullshit. But I don't think that we're going to have either the champions defending on that night. It's going to be all about Cena. We're going to have some other matches, maybe, but nothing that would ever take away. So LA Knight Punk will not happen on Saturday night's main event. I can almost guarantee it. So with that being said, I think LA Knight to the Rumble, we have a nice path to there. I think he wins the Royal Rumble. Yes, I know. You're going to call me crazy. But if Jey Uso can win the Royal Rumble, LA Knight can win it too. And it's not me just being cliche. It's not me saying it because other people can say it. It's just a simple fact that if a guy who a lot of fans see, I think people in the back see, he's a good promo, his wrestling is all right, can win. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's a really great promo. I think what he's done the past couple of years, keeping himself over as Jey Uso did without any prominent story behind him, has dividends behind it. I think there's something that really proves yourself like, damn, this guy put in the work. He was on every show. He was getting himself over, and he got himself into that main event slot, and now you win the Royal Rumble. People still think it was a mistake to have Jey Uso win. I don't think so. I think it was a mistake to have him lose to Gunther the way and the fashion that it happened. I think he could have lost to Gunther again, but I would have had Jey defended it a little more. Gunther Goldberg didn't need that world title, but I digress. Jey Uso, he won the Royal Rumble. LA Knight this year. Only other guys I could legitimately see winning this Rumble are Sami Zayn, which I think LA has a better case than him. And I think Sami will be the one to face Jey Uso at WrestleMania, or AJ Styles. And I say those two guys who would be in his way. Sami Zayn, he's never won a world championship before. He has the story with the bloodline. He has everything going on. Maybe Jey Uso, Sami Zayn is for the world championship, right? Maybe that's what happens. And if that is the case, and Sami Zayn were to win the Rumble, you still have the WWE title in LA Knight. Now, I don't think Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton will be near that title around WrestleMania time specifically. Maybe they are, because I've seen the speculation that someone thinks, or some people are, guessing that Drew, Randy, and Cody are the title match, and that would be great. I'd be okay with it. But I think Drew McIntyre at this coming Saturday night's main event, not only will we see a new world champion, I think we're getting a new WWE champion. I think Drew McIntyre will be the new WWE champion, and I think he's gonna hold that shit till WrestleMania. I think he defends it against LA Knight. I think LA Knight beats him if the world title doesn't go the way it is, and LA Knight is your WWE champion. We've had guys like Alberto Del Rio, Jinder Mahal, The Miz, in 2011 at least, be the WWE champion. Guys who didn't necessarily prove a whole lot, but they got handed the opportunity and they made the most of it. So you might like their reigns, you might not have liked their runs, whatever. They were WWE champions. I think LA Knight has done so much work to prove himself that he can be given a chance like those other fellas to win a championship. We have a minute left here, and LA Knight, some people are going to think, his run doesn't have any shot. There's nothing else you could do to it. He's going to be in limbo for the rest of his career. It's done. I think 2026 is the year. You have Rumble, backup plan, you have Chamber. If he doesn't win those two, King of the Ring is a possibility. Money in the Bank's the dark horse shot, but those two are really emergency plans. If we don't do the right decision the first time, we better fucking fix our ass at the end of the year. But I think LA Knight wins the Rumble. I think it's the right decision. I think him facing Drew McIntyre ultimately should be the move, should be the direction that they take. And LA Knight should be the WWE champion leaving WrestleMania. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's the main event. I think we'll find other matches put in that main event slot, but that's what I think. I think that should be a good match. Maybe they do Rock and Roman next year. Maybe they don't. Maybe they find some other match to do. I have no idea. But with that being said, that is my 10-minute take as our timer is up now. I appreciate you all for tuning into this video. Let me know what you want to see me talk about in the next episode of 10-minute takes. This will not be reliant on any wrestling show. This will basically be me just talking about either something going on right now or something in the past. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, comment as well. And we'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.